Welcome to One Brooklyn, presented by Brooklyn Borough President Eric L. Adams. On this edition of One Brooklyn, Brooklyn Borough President Adams joins with students and administrators from the John Jay Educational Campus for the Participatory Budgeting Project. Borough President Adams met with students and faculty to discuss their experience with this innovative civic engagement process, and then they unveiled the results of the students voting on where to put up to $500,000 in Brooklyn Borough Hall funds for capital projects and $10,000 in school expense funding. It's all to be implemented at the 5 schools located at the John Jay Educational Campus. Those students also voted on some campus policy changes to be implemented by the school's administration. It's a first-of-its-kind process intended to amplify youth voices and support broader student organizing for school safety.
Yes, this was an important initiative, and this is the largest allocation of funds to any participatory budget process in the entire country. I thought it was important that we must move to the direction of engaging our young people. That is why we did this project. It engages them. Before they know it, they're no longer afraid or intimidated by the term vote. They will feel that it's part of the process, and that was our goal.
I think it was incredible for the kids. So often I think they feel like their elected officials don't know who they are or don't kind of care about student voice. So to have Borough President Adams put $500,000 towards projects that, they came up with, they get to vote for, it really just kind of, he put his money where his mouth is in terms of caring about what's going to improve the educational outcomes for students. Student-led, student-initiated, so they were thrilled about it, and they were thrilled about the winning projects.
I think it was a good collaborative thing for all the schools to do because we don't get that much communication with each other. So I thought that it was important. That was really important.
Very opening to see that the borough actually cares about the students rather than the money behind it, because getting our input and our opinion, it was very thoughtful of them. And of course we love our campus, so we want to make our campus as good as possible. Yeah.
So really excited, and prior to the announcement, we like to sit down and have a conversation with the young people. And anyone who has a question mark that lingers over our future, they need to come here and hear from our young people. They straighten that question mark to an exclamation point that we're going to be fine as a country, we're going to be fine as a nation, we're going to be fine as a race. Their focus, the level of just how much interest they bring to the game is so important. I think we devalue that sometimes. And so I really want to thank all of the people who are involved, and I just want to make sure we acknowledge the entire team. Let's give ourselves a hand, the whole team that's here. And one of our partners that we see often, Josh Lerner, co-executive director at Participatory Budgeting Project. Josh has been with us throughout the last 4 or 5 years that we have participated in the participatory budgeting. We also have a representative from Councilman Landers' office. Councilman Landers, who represents this area, has been extremely important as we build out this entire foundation and what we're doing here in this building. And our partners in this particular project, Neighbors in Action, Legal Aid Societies, Community Justice Unit, Brooklyn Community Foundation, and New York Community Trust. And we want to thank them for just supporting what we're doing here. I'm extremely thrilled. I think that when you look at the whole participatory budget conversation, it is a way that we engage New Yorkers. And for far too long, we have focused the attention, for the most part, on those who are adults. Although young people were able to participate in it, there wasn't a focus on schools and the exercise that is associated with this civic engagement. My office has really changed the conversation. We're the only office outside the city council that is participating in the participatory budget process. Last year, we allocated $1 million to the Brownville section of Brooklyn, who has historically not been part of participatory budget because their council person did not participate in it. We wanted to say, hey, how do you leave out a community that is in such high needs? And so we allocated $1 million to that location. Now we're doing something new when we have identified 2 schools here on the John Jay campus, as well as the Acorn Gotham campus in Prospect Heights. We're allocating $1 million. This is the largest allocation in this country for participatory budgeting, and you are the first in doing so, and so congratulations to you for participating in it. This is a great initiative that many of the city council members participate in, where you identify a chunk of money and have the residents vote on where that money is going to go. Particular projects can go anywhere from a school project to a park or any form of initiative that the community residents believe is important. And this is their money. This is not my money. This comes out of your tax dollars. Every time one of these young people's purchase something in a store, a shop, they are putting into the tax base, and that money is now being returned. A portion of that is being returned to these students to decide where the money should go. The projects have been amazing. When we do an analysis of them, you look at everything from resources dealing with the environment, dealing with the health conditions, and just important issues that resonate with young people. And I'm just happy to see how young people are engaged. One of the first areas you look at is who's running the country now. The last electoral cycle changed the dynamics. The age of young people who were admitted to college, the average age was 47. I know that's a long way from a lot of you, but when you're doing a comparison, that prior to that, it was 57. So that's a 10-year drop, and I'm encouraging you to also think about running for some of the congressional seats. And since I'll be leaving in 21, you can even run for borough president. So this program really gives our young people a say, and it allows them to look at going through the process. How to vote, how to fill out the forms, how to be engaged and identify a project. And even when you don't win the project that you decide is important, you win by being engaged in the process, because this is the farm team that we're trying to build when we talk about building those significant projects that will take place in the city of New York. If you're engaged in your school building, you're going to be engaged in your community and make decisions. So we first, before we unveil, you know, Kevin is like a Vanna White moment. Before we unveil, we're going to bring on Josh Lerner of the PB Project, and really for the whole team of what Josh and his team has done. The number of projects that we have witnessed throughout the years. This is a great initiative, and you should go online and look at it. This is not only a local, this has taken place across the entire country, and we really enjoy partnering with Josh throughout the years as we continue to put money, real dollars back in our community. Josh?
Thank you. So I think my role is to build the dramatic tension, so it takes a bit longer to reveal the project, so I'll try my best. So again, my name is Josh Lerner, and I'm co-director of a nonprofit organization called the Participatory Budgeting Project. And we work across the US and Canada with cities and schools to set up processes like this. So again, what you're doing here is happening across the country, across the world. You're part of something very big. And I'm so thankful for the Borough President for several years now for investing resources in expanding and growing and trying out new things with participatory budgeting, and really showing how other officials can play more of a leadership role in this process. I'm thankful for the school administrations for diving into this quick process and trusting in the students to come up with good ideas and to make good decisions. Thankful for the students for putting a lot of time and energy into developing projects, into setting up a vote, into carrying out those projects after the vote. This is the beginning as well. After the vote, there's still more that'll be done around the projects. And thankful for our staff at the Participatory Budgeting Project, Francesco, Elizabeth in particular. We're here facilitating a lot of the meetings. And for funders who have been investing in this, New York Community Trust, Brooklyn Community Foundation. I want to highlight 3 things that are new about what's happening here. First, this is the first time that participatory budgeting has been used to address issues of safety, school safety. And so we started out this discussion asking, what would make this campus a safer and more supportive environment? At a time when students around the country are organizing for safer schools and for safer communities, students don't normally get to decide what that means. And this is a chance for students to define what safety means, for students to define what kind of projects will make them feel safe and supported, and for them to really lead that movement. And we're thankful for all of you who've stepped up. The second thing is this is the most money decided through school participatory budgeting ever, as far as I know. So $500,000, over $500,000 decided by students in one school. As far as I know, that's 10 times more than any other school that's done this. So we're raising the bar. And the third thing, which was on the ballot, which is very interesting too, is you're not just deciding on money, you're deciding on policies. And so there were a couple of policies that went to the ballot too, things that may not even cost money, but are changes in the way the schools run. That can have a big impact on students, whether that's the school safety, ensuring the school, whether it's making clubs open to students from all the campuses. And so I wanted to expand this beyond budgeting and see what kind of policy decisions students can make as well. So we're excited about all these new things, excited to learn about the winning projects and to carry this forward in other schools and across the city. Thank you.
Thank you. Approved. These are all approved. Campus Safety Council, approved. Okay, wait a minute. So these are two policies that you voted on. They were both approved, okay? I like this. We need a drum roll. This is
Expense projects.
Expense project. Career Day, approved. Campus-wide movie night, approved. So we're going to see Karate Kid. Campaign-wide sports clubs, approved. Carnival block party, wow, love it, approved. So those are the expense projects that were approved. Now we're going up to, where's the teacher? You're the tallest.
He's next to the big one, the capital project.
Okay, capital. Filtered drinking fountains, 10. So we're getting rid of plastic bottles, we're getting rid of those dollar bottles, you know, we're getting rid of all of that. We have our own filtered water, so environmentally friendly. Hooray to you for doing it. Bathroom renovation. At last. So these are the capital projects that you have approved: the bathroom renovation, the filtered drinking fountains, 10 total. I think it's going to be 2 on each floor. The expense projects: Carnival block party, campus-wide sports clubs, campus-wide movie night, and career day. And what I'm really impressed with are the 2 policy projects: Campus Safety Council and campus-wide extracurricular clubs. Great job. Well done.
I think it was perfect. Bathroom, we need to fix those. Like filtered water, that was a big problem too, and we need to like target those problems and get them resolved. And I feel like it's good. And the extracurricular activities, it'll combine all the schools again together. So yeah, and I really love it, you know.
I thought they were excited about it because these are things that ever since we come into the school we've noticed and we wanted to change and we wanted to like happen and want to see when we walk into the school. So I think that a lot of people are excited about it. Even if they don't get to see it, it's like something that future generations are going to get to experience as they come in.
That concludes this edition of One Brooklyn. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on One Brooklyn, presented by Brooklyn Borough President Eric L.